must have. Incidentally, 35 minutes away before we reveal our 7 biggest Today specials of the year. You get the chance to order it first on the Monday Night Show. So last week, unbelievably, it was a week ago. Time flies, Julie Truster. We were stood in this very spot. Yes. We had a great DeLonghi heater. It was our deal of the week. I had a lot of people email me afterwards and say, I wanted to buy it, but I don't want one that I necessarily want to put on the wall. I don't have a lot of space. I spoke to one of our incredible buyers, a lady called Katie, who's fantastic at what she does. I asked Katie if we had any other DeLonghi products that would satisfy the need of a space heater. For anybody out there that was watching last week and our deal of the week was not right for you, if you want something smaller but still powerful, we do have this one. Now, I managed to grab it for us. They gave us the lowest price they've ever done. They gave us free shipping, and they gave us full flex pay. Italian design, premium name, 1,500 watts of power. It's as powerful as any heater that we offer, but this is what, and I have a list of names. I've got my cards somewhere. I had about a dozen people who messaged me to ask about other heaters, so I hope you guys are watching tonight. Julie, can we talk temperatures for a second?
Oh my goodness, yes.
How cold is it out there?
It's cold out there right now. We'll show a weather map in just a second. Okay, so Denver is 24. Right there, the blue, as you can see, it's in the 40s right there. So the Farmer's Almanac, they are predicting record cold blizzard-like temperatures. So Denver is 24, which we would expect for Denver to be cold right now. But listen to this, Atlanta, Georgia, 35 degrees. Boston, 31 degrees. Cleveland, Ohio, 27 degrees. Hartford, Connecticut, 25 degrees. We know, because the Farmer's Almanac, they're on target every year, they are predicting record cold temperatures. In fact, some of the words that they were using, frigid, cold. It said winter is here with an exclamation point. So we know it's getting cold. In fact, DeLonghi for tonight said that these are getting so hard to come by because it's starting to get cold. People run out and they get space heaters. And this is the most powerful that they make. The one that you and I sold last week, the big full-size ones for the big rooms, it's 1,500 watts of power. So is this one. The same amount of watts. So you cannot buy a heater that's more powerful than 1,500 watts, and that's what this space heater is, so that's huge.
Well, I love DeLonghi, and whether it's our air conditioning units or our DeLonghi heaters, in my estimation, they create some of the finest products. It's not just the power, it's the form, and when Julie shows you how this works, you can use the remote control. This is all the higher end features. So if you're starting to feel the nip in the air, the cold in the air, and you want a nice heater that we can put in the living room, take to work with us, put in the office, by the cubicle, by the bedroom, this is going to be ideal. Julie, DeLonghi do make it a superior product. I don't think there's any argument there.
They do. In fact, they introduced the portable heaters and air conditioners to the United States. Check out this, 221 degrees, but watch this. It's completely cool to the touch. How awesome is that? It's reading over 200 degrees. So we make a larger version of this that's for a full-size room. This has the exact same features, the exact same power. 1,500 watts is the big message. Also, it oscillates, so it heats the room evenly. It also comes with the remote control. It has a timer on it, so you can set it to turn on or off at a certain time, which is great. Listen, if you just put it in the bathroom and set the timer to come on at a certain time, so when you get out of bed, that bathroom is nice and heated up, this is totally worth it. Let me go through the features so you can see everything. First of all, it's sleek looking, it's lightweight, it has all the safety features built in on board. It goes all the way up to 90 degrees, which I love, 90 degrees. You can set it high, medium, or low. Notice how it has its own built-in thermostat right here. It's showing 90 degrees, so it will set itself, so you don't have to keep adjusting it. You can turn it up or down right here. On the mode, it has a high, medium, and low. It also has an antifreeze mode, which we'll talk about in just a second. It also has a fan mode. EcoPlus, this is what DeLonghi's known for. So EcoPlus puts it in the most efficient and and cost-effective mode available. All you have to do is push the button. There's that 24-hour timer, and then right here, where that little button right there, that's what makes it oscillate. All of those features are on that exact same remote control. So you can be laying in bed, you can be in your favorite chair, and you can put it next to you. You can, in fact, it's small enough and portable enough, you can pop this in your purse and you can take it to work with you and put it in your little cubicle or in your office. So it is portable. So, and then once again, with the remote control, when you push the button right there, it starts to oscillate.
Right.
And whenever it oscillates, because a lot of little space heaters don't,
no, they do not.
They don't oscillate.
No, we researched this before.
So it heats the room evenly instead of getting that blast that's right in your face of air.
I don't, you know, something I don't say on really many products, because I don't think it's fair, because every product has its features and benefits. But from all the heaters that we experience, I always believe that DeLonghi is the best, and that's just because I can touch and feel and experience it. We have great heaters, some fantastic heaters, but there is something about this company that goes above and beyond. You know, when it gets cold, we kind of wait till the last minute, and then we head to the red store, we go to the blue store, and we end up buying whatever they've got left. Whether it's good or okay, we still end up spending a lot of money on it. This at $69 is such a great size, such a versatile size, that if you wanted to move it from the living room to the bedroom when you go to bed, you can do that. But I don't want you thinking that at $69 that it is missing the features. The anti-freeze technology, this will come on if it notices that the temperature has literally hit freezing point. It will automatically switch on. It is one of the safest heaters that you can buy. It has the digital thermostat. It's a smart heater. And the reason why I'm kind of obsessed with saying that, Julie, is we can buy $69 heaters in every store in America, but they don't do what this does.
Right, and I tell you what, for a portable small heater, 1,500 watts of power. We sell our big ones, our full-size ones, and they are 1,500 watts of power. You can't get more powerful than that. So usually the little portables are 750 watts of power, or they're maybe a little bit more than that.
Which is not bad, but it's not 1,500 watts.
It's not 1,500 watts. So this is maximum power. I want to show again too. In fact, Allison, our producer, was asking about this for the baby's room.
For baby Olivia.
Yeah, exactly. Now look at this. It's completely cool to the touch right here. There we go. And I just turned it off, so you can see it quietly turns off. You can turn it back on like this. Everything's cool to the touch. It also has tip over technology, so if it would accidentally tip over, it turns off. If it would accidentally get too hot, it has the automatic shut off. So this is perfect for the kids' bedrooms, if you've got that drafty room, or if you're that cold person in the family like me. I always have a blanket